A few years ago, I ran an experiment to figure out the best way to grow sweet potatoes. And I honestly didn't expect much from it at the time, but by the end of the season, what came out of the ground was one of the most surprising harvests I've ever had. So in this video, I'm going to take you through that entire process, from starting with one sweet potato from the grocery store, all the way to harvest. And I'm going to show you exactly what worked, what didn't, and what I've done every year since then. Now, I do want to let you know about some more free information in addition to this video for sweet potatoes and anything else you want to grow. We have our free garden guide at gardenguide.com. I'll put a link down below. It'll take you through the season on anything you want to grow. Now, I'll start out by saying sweet potatoes take a long time to grow. Depending on your climate, you're looking at several months. And if you have a shorter growing season, getting them started early is really important. Ideally, you want to start them about 6 weeks before your last frost date. Now, a lot of places, that's a little bit late. So if you're a northern climate, definitely keep this information ready for next January or February. But that amount of time gives you enough time to get strong slips growing before they go outside. And everything starts with one simple thing: a sweet potato. Now, this one right here is actually store-bought. You can use sweet potatoes that you grew last year, or you can buy them from the store. If you're buying store-bought, I always recommend going organic if you can. Sometimes conventional ones are treated with a sprout inhibitor. It prevents sprouting, and obviously we don't want that. We want this thing to wake up and start growing sprouts. What we're trying to do here is grow something called slips. And if you've never done this before, slips are just long sprouts that grow out of a sweet potato. And those are what we're going to use to plant instead of planting the potato itself like you would with typical potatoes. We're turning one potato into multiple plants. Now, one issue you can run into at this stage is the potato rotting before you get enough slips. And this is something I ran into early on, so I started experimenting with ways to prevent that. So we're going to start with two 1,000 milligram tablets of vitamin C, like that. And I've got a cup and a half of water. So go ahead and put that in there.
Plop, plop. Whoa.
And we're going to blend it up. So go ahead and do that.
Oh.
Okay, stop. All right. So we're going to put this into a cup. You can lay it flat if you have a small dish, maybe a bread pan. I'm going to put it in this other cup here and try to cover as much of it as possible. And it's okay if you still have a few chunks. Now we're going to let this soak for 15 minutes. So after that, what we decided to do was test a few different methods side by side and see what actually worked best to get the most amount of slips from one potato. Now, the first method is one you've probably seen all over social media. It's kind of like the old avocado seed trick with toothpicks. Okay, last one.
That's off.
There we go.
All right, now we put it in the water, like so.
And at the time, I thought this is the one that was going to win. I mean, it's touted all over the place, right? The second method was using something like perlite or vermiculite. All right, so just go ahead and add the perlite in there. With this, you're going to keep the perlite completely soaked with water.
Yes.
So you're gonna put it in here and fill it with water, let it sit for a minute, then take this out, dump the water,
And then put it back in.
put it back in. The idea here was better drainage, keeping it moist without letting it rot. And then the third method, just potting soil. Nothing fancy, and honestly at the time this felt like the least interesting one. A little bit more. All right, now we're going to lay this on its side
All right.
and fill in the rest of this with the potting mix. You're still going to see the top of the potato.
Okay.
And make sure the potting mix is pre-moistened. Sometimes potting mix has a hard time soaking up moisture if it's not pre-moistened. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. And you're just going to then put this into the other half so it collects the moisture. When you water them, let them sit for a little bit, and then take this part out, dump the excess water, and then put it back. We let all three grow under the same conditions and then check back in about 30 days later.
So far, the water one has a lot of roots, as you can see. They have a lot of roots, so that one's doing pretty good. And then there's the Perlite that has a little bud right there. And then on the bottom, you can't really see the roots because the Perlite is white. So you can't really see the roots.
I'm sure it has lots.
Yeah. And then this one has the bigger sprout. And if you look at the bottom, you can see the roots and yeah, if you look at the bottom, you can see the roots. If you look at the sides, you can also see the roots.
You can see what's happening, and this is where it starts to get interesting. The water method looks great in the water, but there's not much happening up top, and that's kind of misleading because at first glance you think it's doing the best. The Perlite, it's doing something, but not a lot. And then the potting soil, stronger growth, more visible slips, and this is where I started thinking, okay, maybe this is actually the better way to do it. So we let it go another 30 days, and now at 60 days, we check in again. Let me show you the water one first. Lots of roots. One tiny little sprout. I mean, it's barely like, it's like an eye. I'm not going to be doing it this way ever again. Okay, the other one, how about Perlite? A little better. There's little sprouts here. The end, though, is, oh, I just poked a hole in it. It's soft and a little bit rotten. So if that happens to you, and you still need some growth here, you can just cut that part of the sweet potato off. Get all the brown part off of it, and it will last a little longer. So, you know, not much to write home about here. If, worst case scenario, we could get a couple of plants off of this. And then there was the one in potting soil. Ready to see it? Whoa, we've got plenty of slips on this one potato. The potato is still firm all the way through. So from now on, potting soil, at least for me, is the way I'm going to go. This is where it becomes really clear. The water method, lots of roots, almost no slips. So looks good underneath, but not useful at all. The Perlite, we have some slips, but now you're starting to see the downside. The potato is breaking down. And then the potting soil. This is where it's like, okay, there's no question anymore. Multiple healthy slips, strong growth, potato still firm. From this point on, this is the method. Literally from this point on. I've done it that way every year since, and I haven't looked back. Now, once your slips get to about 6 inches long, it's time to remove them. All right, so all you need is your sweet potato with the slips and a couple of jars or cups or whatever you have. And we want slips that are about 6 inches long, not too much longer. So these really tall ones here, I'm gonna leave those for now. And you can snap them off, just like that. And these are actually, this is a little short, but it'll work. You can just kind of pluck these leaves off, or you can cut them off. We're going to leave the top couple on. Drop them in the water. That's pretty much as difficult as it gets. Now, underneath the ground, or the soil, you might get some that are already rooted. So that just gives you a head start. So I'm gonna go ahead and pluck off some of these leaves anyway. This one's gonna have a lot of roots. Look, it's growing out from completely underneath the soil. Look, right here. So seriously, this one could go in the ground. That one could totally go in the ground right now. So if you already have some like that with roots, I'm just gonna take some little pots just to hold me over for the time being. Just kind of spread the roots out. Cover them up with a little potting soil. Water them. And we're just going to continue to grow these roots and plant them at the same time as these. Now, if you didn't get enough off of your sweet potato, keep it watered, put it back where you had it, and it'll grow a whole new batch. Put them in a sunny windowsill, and within 2 to 3 weeks, they will have roots and they'll be ready to go outside. And within just a few days, you start seeing roots like this. And once you see that, you're ready to plant. Now, before planting, and this is important, your garden needs to be ready because once these go in, they're there for months. So spacing, irrigation, everything should be set. We spaced them out about 12 to 18 inches apart and just got them in the ground. We added some Neptune's Harvest crab and lobster shell and kelp meal. That's the best fertilizer in my opinion for any crop. I've been using it, I think, for 7 or 8 years now. I'll leave a link to it down below in our shop. And now this is the part where things get a little misleading because the plants take off. And I mean, they really take off. They spread everywhere. And at some point, it's almost like this is just a bunch of leaves. Now, I will say that the leaves are edible and quite nutritious. You can cook them the same way you would spinach. But this is where patience matters because everything is happening underground too. And it takes a few months to really get to the point of harvest. Now you're gonna know they're ready to harvest when the plants either start turning yellow or start to bloom. Then you can dig down a little bit, make sure you've got some mature potatoes under there, and then get at it. The harvest is one of those moments where you just don't expect this much to come out of the ground from so few plants. They make regular potatoes look downright stingy. Different shapes, different sizes, not all grocery store perfect, but you get a lot of them. And this is really the payoff of the whole process. You start with one potato and you end up with something like that. Now you can eat them right away, but they're actually better if you let them sit for a couple of weeks. That helps bring out the natural sweetness. Put them in the shade for a couple of weeks at a cooler temperature if you can. Doesn't really matter that much. So if you take anything from this whole process, it's this. Use potting soil for the slips, keep them warm, be patient, and let the plant do what it's gonna do. Because once you see what comes out of the ground at the end, it's one of those crops that they're so fun to grow and you're gonna look forward to that harvest every single year. And then of course, eating all that. If you wanna see a no digging, no planting way of growing regular potatoes, click right here and I'll see you next time.